Hey everybody, my name is Kurt, and I'm excited to get to know everybody in this module. And I'm going to try to do this in under 4 minutes, so we'll see how it goes. My name is Kurt Funk. There's my family right there, my wife Kelly, my 4 beautiful girls. I'm a STEM teacher. I teach grades 5 and 6. It was a pretty new position that started 3 years ago, so I kind of got a blank slate. I got to write the curriculum and everything. I work for the Manheim Central School District. I am the girls varsity tennis coach, and I pretty much enjoy doing anything outside, whether it's kayaking, disc golfing, hiking, really anything. If I'm outdoors having a campfire, I'm having a good time. So let's jump into the first question. How do students learn science? I think 3 principles from the opening chapter really kind of bring that into clarity for us. But one, engaging prior understandings and the connection piece of new knowledge on top of old understanding. I think we call that scaffolding. But in science, there's a lot of misconceptions there, so it's incredibly important to do that. 2, this whole idea of factual knowledge and conceptual framework and kind of linking together and understanding. I have a quote there from page 5, and it says, "This concept of learning with understanding has 2 parts. Factual knowledge must be placed in a conceptual framework to be well understood. And secondly, concepts are given by meaning of multiple representations that are rich in factual detail." And this idea that competent performance is built on neither factual nor conceptual understanding alone, it's a really big deal. And then finally, self-monitoring. I think it's an incredibly tricky thing, especially for 5th and 6th graders to do it. But in science, that ability to kind of self-advocate for yourself, to kind of like make sure that you're doing things properly and with integrity, is a big deal when we're talking about science. So what are the barriers to science learning? Again, time is huge. I think science is a secondary subject in public school. I really do. Math and LA kind of get the bulk of everything because those are tested subjects. Unless it's 4th or 8th grade, I think science is not a huge priority. I love the expert versus the novice framework by Donovan and Bransford, because really what they're getting at is this idea of mastery, and it's incredibly important. And again, I've seen a lot of things in which we don't teach to mastery, we teach to get through content. And I think that's a huge barrier. 3, the 3 principles, again, mentioned on 32 to 39, but preconceptions, what it means to do science, and this whole idea of metacognition are incredibly important because if you look at my bottom right picture, I think those are the ways that, kids can understand which path they're supposed to take in science. Science is not linear. There's not just one path to take. There's a whole bunch of different options that you can kind of take through inquiry. And you need those skills to be able to do that. And it's hard to have those skills because of, again, goes back to time and the fact that science is not a priority. How does my classroom? Well, my classroom, again, I'm big on the 4 C's of 21st century learning: critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration. But I would say my classroom is inquiry-based. An EduSpire by the author of Wolpert Gowron in 2016, she said, inquiry is all about triggering curiosity. And that's how my classroom works. I pose a question and I let them dive into it. I also think I do a lot with metacognitive strategies. Page 42 of Donovan and Bransford, they said being metacognitive is different from simply asking whether we comprehend what we read or hear. It requires taking up a particular critical lens through which scientists view the world. And my class definitely lends itself towards that critical lens piece. And finally, my class is definitely a learner-centered environment. Again, page 14, Donovan Bransford, they said you must present students with just manageable difficulties, challenging enough, but not so much that is discouraging. And that is a very hard line. I've learned that. My class is fun, but kids get very frustrated in kind of navigating that line. Finally, what's my STEM perspective? Well, first of all, I think STEM is incredibly important. I think it matters. And I think this chart from Edutopia really just kind of sums that up. And I think this is very conservative on the whole growth factor. I think if you saw one from 2019 to 2022, especially after COVID, you would see the numbers even much, much higher for STEM employment. So I think that's incredibly important. And then finally, my chart from the reading. I'm definitely more of a engineering by design process, and I incorporate science and math when I can. I do realize the bottom one is probably more desirable. It's supposed to be kind of all integrated, but I definitely think that I lean towards the upper diagram there, where the technology and engineering piece drive what I do. All right, there's my references. Sorry, I'm at 5 minutes. I had to move through that pretty quick, but I look forward to, again, meeting everybody in the course. Thank you.